Welcome to the Kobe Bryant film room, right? And I wanted to react to the Player's Choice open jib segment on them arguing who's better offensively, Steve Nash versus Kobe Bryant. Uh, I like these two guys. I like these three guys up here, Dub, Mars, and Lowe. I think they have some insightful takes, but they also have some crazy ass takes. Subscribe to these three guys channel, and well, specifically Lowe, because Lowe has multiple channels, but subscribe to the Legend of Winning, playback. I watch a lot of playback videos. Those things are entertaining as fuck. Him and Agent 000 do a good job, right? So let's get into it.
Y'all saying that y'all think that Kobe's a 10 offensively because y'all may value scoring more or noticeably higher than Richard.
You know that.
Well, hold on. I value score. Me personally, I value scoring more because the object of the game is to put the ball in the basket. That's primary. The secondary thing is stop the other person from putting the ball in the basket. So if you do both, most likely you're going to win the game. So the thing is that that's what it's about. Every other skill is secondary, right? To scoring, right? The purpose of an assist is to get somebody else an open shot, an easier shot, right? But if you could put the ball in the basket yourself at a high clip or at a legendary clip, that's more important to me, in my opinion.
Yes, but I think as a scorer for Nash, especially when he goes into the postseason, it's nowhere near as bad as y'all making it out. It's just not.
Well, Nash is a dangerous scorer, right? He's just not on the level of Kobe Bryant as a scorer. And I don't think Lowe's arguing that, but I just got to put that out there. Nash is a dangerous scorer, right? You got to guard him from three. He's knocked down from three. He's knocked down from mid-range. He's a great free throw shooter, right? 50, 40, 90 player. Absolute beast. He has handles. He runs the pick and roll. He manipulates the offense, right? Nash is an incredible offensive player. But none.
Oh no, Nash wasn't the best scorer in the postseason. At times,
Yo, that nigga on the top, on the bottom. That nigga on the bottom had. I don't know if he's a LeBron fan, but he got a picture of Delonte West and LeBron. I don't know if he's trolling, but that's crazy, bro. If he's trolling, that's crazy. Because like out of all the pictures he could have picked, for him to choose that one's crazy.
No, well, especially of the version of Nash I'm referring to. I'm really referring to last year or two, maybe at Dallas, up until like.
But the same way you taxed KD, the same thing you put in context with KD playing with the Golden State Warriors, like you not taxing Nash at all for being with Mike D'Antoni.
No, because even Mike D'Antoni's other players, and they've never been that efficient. They've never been that.
Wait, hold on. But you could say the same thing for Steve Nash. Steve Nash has never been that efficient. Steve Nash has never had those numbers, right? Steve Nash's best numbers is in the D'Antoni offense, where they don't give a fuck about defense and they just run up and down the floor.
And there's a passer and playmaker.
So it works for everybody.
Even when Stoudemire was hurt, the way that he was still able to manipulate defenses without having somebody run into the basket and still kept up his.
But with Stoudemire hurt, they pushed the pace, right? They still played the same way. Even when Stoudemire was hurt, they probably ain't run as much pick and roll as they usually do, or post ups or anything like that. But they still played run and gun.
Efficiency? No, it's not.
Wait. This is why.
You have. Never mind.
That's like me taxing Kobe because he played the triangle offense and the way that the spacing and player movement and positioning of everybody was way more advanced than every other system that was being ran at that time.
But again, the triangle offense takes away from Kobe's scoring ability because Kobe without the triangle, when you see Kobe without the triangle, he's putting up Michael Jordan level numbers, right? When you see Kobe with the triangle, he's around 28, 29. Kobe without the triangle, he's up in the high 30s. He's around 34, 35 points per game, right? Like, he can literally put that up if you just give him the ball for the whole game and let him score, right? So the thing is that the triangle is an equal opportunity offense. Everybody touches the ball. It's going to take away from your assist numbers, and it's going to take away from your scoring, and it's going to utilize more of the team aspect of the game. And that's sacrificing your numbers. Same thing with Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan was putting up monster numbers before Phil Jackson. Once Phil Jackson came, Michael Jordan's numbers dipped a little bit.
Correct.
Also,
Correct.
I mean, and he played point guard, and he was like putting up a bunch of triple doubles. When he went to the triangle, he didn't have to do all that shit.
Correct.
Okay, that's fine. That's fine. But you know Mike D'Antoni and his offense, in terms of his offense, in the sense he was running. Bro,
You don't let bro talk.
what's up? The thing is,
and I'm a big now. And you said crazy. You said, wait. The big man that told me a week ago that, the triangle offense didn't create easy looks for Kobe Bryant like that. It'd be easy for Kobe, but
That's crazy to say that. The triangle offense created easier looks for everybody. Kobe most often was moving without the ball, cutting and coming off screens and things like that.
like efficient shots for them.
right.
I'm
not gonna lie,
2001
2001
and easier, two different things.
Efficient then. Efficient.
So,
They weren't.
Why you talking about Kobe?
Because wait, let me answer. Because even if I were to inflate Kobe or adjust it,
I think Lowe is one of those guys who really value passing. Like really, really value passing.
or put it into the context of what it was in contrast to Nash, I still don't think it would come close to the level of efficiency Nash was scoring at that time. It just doesn't.
But
Nash didn't have to fall you.
When I mean passing, I mean like playmaking. Like I think he really values like those type of playmakers like Steve Nash, Jason Kidd, guys like that. Magic.
It started. If the volume came, it was very clearly seen that if need be, the volume could be provided while still retaining a lot of that efficiency as well. The same argument we just had about Jokic. If you think because Embiid was scoring 10 more points and the volume wasn't there, then you thought that it was a significant gap.
What makes
Yeah, but those are similar offenses. That's apples and oranges because you could compare Embiid and Jokic around the same ballpark as a scores, right? Nash is nowhere in the same ballpark as Kobe. So that's not, I don't even think you could do that comparison. I don't think that shit works.
Makes Jokic though is the fact that he does in fact.
Well, we're talking about Kobe. We're talking about like a 15 point gap. If you're talking about the 05, 06 year, that's like a 15-point gap in scoring, bro. It's not close. It's not as close as Embiid and Jokic. It's just not.
So first off, he still reaches a level of volume that Steve Nash never met. So I don't even know why that's the argument. But he rose to that level of volume and was that consistent. But that's what makes Jokic the anomaly. There's not that many offensive play like
Jokic most definitely is an anomaly. And to me, he's just a better scorer than Steve Nash. He's a better offensive force than Steve Nash. He's better at scoring, right? And to me, he's about the same as far as a playmaker. I think he's better actually. He's better as far as a playmaker, right? He's a threat. Like Jokic is a massive, massive threat. Different than Steve Nash. Even though Steve Nash was great at it, Jokic is on another level in my opinion.
Curry's shooting, for example,
mainly because of his size. Mainly because of his size and his touch around the rim. He scores so easy around the rim.
his greatest attribute. It doesn't maintain his regular season averages. It doesn't.
Right.
He shoots worse in the playoff. As great of a shooter as Steph is, he does.
Jokic shot worse this year.
Yeah, players usually shoot a little bit worse because the defenses start to focus in on them. They're playing the same opponent over and over and over again. So the thing is that, in Steph's case, he's usually injured, right? When it comes to, he's usually a little banged up, so it's understandable, right? But yeah, that happens. That happens, man.
The postseason as well.
You got to win.
Jokic was 70 in the regular season. He was like 63.
You got to sacrifice a little bit of numbers to do what you got to do.
60.
You play a long ass regular season and all that grind, and you're a little, push to your limit in the playoffs.
4 something like that. This year.
What did just shot? What did just shot in the finals?
That's not, bro. They both was crazy.
66. They're all talking about. Yeah, he's not. I think he won like 65 in the finals. He wasn't.
Yeah, they all. Both the guys are highly efficient in playoffs. That's
But Steve Nash wasn't high volume like that.
When the postseason, especially when the postseason began, if you looked at Steve Nash in the regular season and thought that was an identification of the type of volume that he could provide on relatively similar efficiency, that's just incorrect. Because again, Jokic was flirting around 24 this season, while other players were like clearing 30. That doesn't mean that the gap between them in scoring is as significant, especially when we get to the postseason and the volume increases and the efficiency doesn't drop.
Yeah, but we're talking about Kobe. It's different with Kobe because Kobe's play increased as he went to the playoffs. And he was already way better than Steve Nash in the regular season. As far as if you want to talk about the scoring and the assist and what it balances out to.
As significant as one would believe it needed to be for you to alter your opinion about him scoring wise.
Below. Like Steve Nash, his scoring production did uptick in the postseason. Not by a crazy margin. It was like 2 shots, bro. Besides like one postseason. I know one postseason went crazy, I forget. But it's like 2 shots on the majority.
What is he going up to is what I'm at. Like, what is he going up to?
He wasn't a 25 point per game scorer in the postseason.
I'm not saying he's 20, but I mean Jokic wasn't 33 points per game this season. He wasn't that. He wasn't what Embiid was doing in the regular season, no. But he still increased noticeably. In between 05
Yeah, but the problem is Jokic can do it. Jokic can score what Embiid's scoring. It's just not his style, but he can do it. I don't think Steve Nash can go to an Embiid level of scoring. I think he's not that. He doesn't have the mindset for that. He just don't have the capabilities to really go off like that. I don't believe.
I'm about to tell you, between 05
what did
and 04.
Jokic just do in this playoff run?
I'm about to say, what did he go up to this season?
Jokic went up 6 points. I don't know why he's not doing this right now. But
did Nash go up?
No.
Nash went up. I'm not saying he got to go exactly the same amount. Nash went up 17.5 basically in the regular season in his first 3 years in Phoenix to then 21. It's basically what a 4 or 5 point uptick.
Wait.
Yeah, but the difference between averaging 21
17.
Right, I'm about to say that's the 8 to 10 we're talking about. Yo, you just said
I'm not.
one is transcendent, one is just a slump from both.
I just said it doesn't have to be the same. I didn't say it had to be the same, but also
are we comparing Steve Nash to Jokic or Steve Nash to Kobe?
Time going up from 17 in the mid 2000s, going from 17 to plus 20 is that's definitely a no, because it's only like
that's a good jump. But we're talking about, are we talking about Kobe? Comparison to Kobe, Kobe's went up as well.
7 to what 12 players in the NBA at that time.
And it was already high
20 plus. It's not that many players at that time giving you 20 plus.
In the playoffs?
Especially in the playoffs.
Yeah, we have to look that up.
Which years did you use, Lo?
Between
It's not as impressive as what Jokic just did.
There's definitely.
So he's using multiple. I'm confused because they keep hopping around years. So he's using multiple years.
Before y'all be like, oh, he's technically 13. The point I'm making is that there's more of the volume now in scoring, especially if it's all relative to error. Finding a player who's a 20-point scorer, 20-plus point scorer in the 2000s is much more difficult to find one nowadays, right? So being a 20-point scorer on like plus 8, plus 10 true shooting.
I guess he's debating Jokic versus Steve Nash.
That time is extraordinarily difficult to find.
Now, Steve Nash definitely could score more points in this offense. In this era, Steve Nash could put up probably about 25. No joke.
I'm not saying he's as good as a scorer as Kobe. I'm not saying that. But if the questions was about his scoring, when you make that type of an increase where you're increasing 4 to 5 points from regular season to post, and the efficiency is staying relatively the same.
So you saying there's a lot of players that's doing what Jokic is doing in the playoffs now?
No, that's not what you said at all.
No, I'm not. I'm saying the volume.
You saying
That's to that point. Yola Los, Nash never averaged 20, Kobe averaged 35. That's a 15-point difference. And we're also talking about something that wasn't done since Michael Jordan did it in the 90s, score as far as put 35 up. You know what I'm saying? So it's way different. And on a bad team to where he had to lift and score damn near half their points in order for them to win.
Nash did it.
I'm saying being a 20-point scorer.
Nash wasn't the leading scorer on his team. So Sean Marion had that responsibility when Amari was out.
On plus 10 true shooting is like
we're doing way too much math right now. Way too much math.
That's impressive.
It's basketball.
No, it's impressive.
But let me ask you this. What do you value more? Production in regards to comparing players scoring? Production and impact or versatility?
This is also another conversation I'm mulling over. Because me and Mark, wait, let me say this real quick as well. On 05, Nash went from 60 true shooting in the regular season to 60 in the postseason. He dropped technically 0.2. And the regular season in 06, he dropped 2% as well. And these are like well into the 60s. And in 07, he was 65. And that right there was an 8% drop. And 65%, I think, at that stage in NBA history is probably plus 10, plus 11. Like, you're flirting with, like, ridiculous whatchamacallit. Okay, so going back to your argument about, not an argument, but the question. All of those years, except for 05, are plus 10. You're plus 8 to plus 10.
He was a great offensive player, but why are we doing all this math? What is this to say?
It's pretty crazy. Okay, so and to answer that question, this is the ongoing conversation I'm having with myself, and I ask other people because, and this is a Jokic convo. I don't think Jokic will ever lead a team to like a number one or historically great offensive unit because the way that the Nuggets play offense, it's in a way to maximize counters rather than maximize efficiency. And so because they're more versatile in that way, it makes it easier for them to sustain their efficiency in the postseason because they have different ways of beating you, but they're never going to max out in terms of efficiency and the way that they produce at all. So that is a conversation where I kind of go back and forth with myself. I do, to be fair, I do.
I'm going to let you know something here, right?
Okay.
You did a lot of nasty work with the numbers here, right?
Right.
I'm lost. I tried to figure out what he's trying to say. What the fuck does this have to do with Kobe?
I say going year by year is more of an accurate depiction, right? Because in 05, the year where he had 23 in the playoffs, I remember 05 was the year he faced the Dallas Mavericks and had 30, right? That year does a lot of carrying in terms of his points per game. That one singular series plus a lot of carrying to put him at 23 because the next round he had 23 points in the Western Conference Finals, and the series before he had 15, right? Then every other year outside of that year, Steve Nash does have an uptick in points per game, but it's not by a crazy wide margin. It's not. Like every single season.
Yeah, that's the thing. He's a good player, but we're trying to, like, I don't know what we're trying to do here. Like, where are we trying to put Nash?
Single year that I'm looking at right now. So
he switched to just true shooting when he started talking about the other years. He didn't do the volume no more.
And you can never discount the efficiency of Nash. I'm not even trying. Right. But in terms of him and his scoring ability, where Real Talk was talking about the volume, Nash is not a guy that consistently has that volume to be put him in these.
He doesn't get those shots. He's not the scorer Sean Marion is. He just ain't. He's not the scorer Amari is. He just ain't. At one point, he was the third best scorer on the team, the fourth best scorer on the team. You know what I'm saying? They were that talented.
I'm not saying that he's as good as
the conversation that he's making.
I'm not saying he's as good as a scorer as Kobe.
So what trying to say?
What I'm saying is, and I'll say it again, to find somebody in the NBA at that stage who can give you 20 points per game, period. Let's just stop it right there, period.
Okay.
There's probably like, and I'm guessing here, there's probably like 15 players. 15
Perfect. And now fuck that.
It is.
Then
How many players is averaging 35, bro?
find a guy like what was Kobe was doing, putting in 30.
Zero.
Yeah.
30?
Not 30, 35.
Hey, so-
unless he's talking about throughout the whole 2000s. Yes, it's 30. It's about 28.
That's crazy, Lo.
I'm not saying that he's as good as a scorer as Kobe. I'm not saying that, bro.
No,
But the
that's
offense
fine.
is
I'm not
scoring.
saying
But
but
you
yeah.
put the ball in the basket. I don't understand. We're trying to value moving the ball, spreading the ball, other guys scoring. We're doing all this math, but at the end of the day, we're trying to put the ball in the basket.
In terms of ignoring that part of your equation for Kobe Bryant, relative to his own era as well, a 30-point scorer like
35, going all the way back to Jordan, was the last person who did that.
he was doing, and he was efficient at that. That's damn near
46%.
irreplaceable.
What is the efficiency in contrast to everyone else?
What you mean?
Oh my God.
For
that's crazy.
high volume scorers, Kobe was in the upper
He
echelon.
was still
Bro,
upper.
Kobe was around 46%, bro. Like, and he was killing from 3. So it's like, what are you trying to say? Who else was up there? Iverson, right? He wasn't efficient like Kobe as far as a volume scorer. Neither was T-Mac. No, none of those guys.
Echelon, I'm not denying that, but what I'm saying is amongst like 25 point per game scores,
So what would
plus,
you rather?
plus 3 plus this is the I would rather have if you want to say the value of Kobe scoring, the gap that 8, let's say the 8-point gap, the 8 to 10 point gap, right?
Mhm.
You're saying if you value that 8 to 10 point gap, even if the efficiency difference is like an 8% difference, and even though one is a noticeably better passer and playmaker as well, if you're saying off of just sheer scoring volume alone,
Bro,
that's
Kobe was an offensive force, bro. We're talking about leading that 06 team 3-1 against the Suns. So obviously all that efficiency barely helped Nash.
your
All
value,
that plus
that's
8
fine.
and all that other shit barely helped Nash, bro. Kobe was that potent that he made his teammates a threat. The only reason why they lost is because Kobe decided to let them niggas show what they had.
I'm taking the fact that at that time, a 20-point score period is hard to come by, let alone the one that's like 8 to 10% above league average, let alone
Yeah, but
also.
he's a 20-point scorer in the D'Antoni offense, though. These niggas ain't playing defense. They just run. The only nigga playing defense like that is fucking Sean Marion. You had a handful of guys. Sean Marion, Raja Bell. Shit, that's really it. Amari played a little bit, but that's really it. The niggas was told, their philosophy was let the niggas score, come back down, try to outscore them.
Being the best passer and playmaker in the NBA. That's what I'm saying.
Stay there. And what I'm going to tell you, your main point about Kobe and his offensive value, you gave this motherfucker a 7. And by your own admission, what you're telling me,
You're going-
Kobe Bryant,
Kobe's not a 7, Kobe's a 10.
Kobe Bryant,
Hey,
no, not even. Kobe Bryant being an above average.
That's crazy. You have that jersey behind you while saying that shit? That's crazy, dog.
Flying scores,
Shit's crazy,
being
bro.
a top tier of efficiency, being a 30-point per game scorer in that time frame as well. And don't discount Kobe was a good passer at that time, so he did have passing value in his playmaking.
Yeah, Kobe
as
could
well.
pass if you take
There's
him out
no
the
way you
triangle.
can call that man a 7 relative to his own era. He at least needs to be
An
a
8.
9,
He called him an 8.
9.5. Not even an 8. He needs to be a 30-point per game.
Kobe's a
efficient
10.
score in
There was no
2000.
niggas putting up. There was no niggas scoring at the clip Kobe was and scoring in the fourth quarter that Kobe was during that time. That's what they're missing. The fourth quarter value too. Closing games. He was a 10.
So I think you're still missing the point. Even if he's a 9, there's still a noticeable gap between a 9 and a 10.
No, he's a 10.
No. I'm not arguing
He's
that.
a fucking
I'm
10.
arguing the point you gave this motherfucker a 7, bro.
Okay, this is all.
A 7 is ridiculous, bro. Come on, Lo. A 7, nigga.
He gave him an 8, bro. Hold on.
I
He
didn't
said
say- I didn't-
8.
Well, he wanna laugh. Look, Lord, asshole. He tried not to smile.
Anyway, yeah, I
He
said
He never said
bullshitting.
He said defense was the 7 to 8.
defense was the 7.5. Yeah.
I could rewind the tape.
Okay. Okay, so yeah, that was a crazy ass conversation. Yeah, Kobe's a 10 on offense, man. I don't give a fuck. In the fourth quarter, Kobe went ballistic, right? Scoring damn near half of the team's points. I think the overall points per game for teams was 97, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on, bro. Like, Kobe scoring damn near half the team's points, and a lot of times he scored more than half their points. Like, that shit just ridiculous, bro. Kobe had them niggas down 3-1, bro. With all this +8 and calculators that were taken out, them niggas almost lost to a nigga with a bunch of role players around. But that's gonna do it to this reaction video of the Player's Choice. See y'all later.